Welcome, you're watching Kaleidoscope SriLanka Live News Capsule. New Zealand and Sri Lanka have enjoyed a strong diplomatic relationship for over 70 years, rooted in trade, education and development. In 2023, bilateral trade exceeded $350 million, with New Zealand playing a major role as a dairy supplier. The relationship has deepened with the recent opening of New Zealand's first High Commission in Sri Lanka, paving the way for expanded cooperation in areas including sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, education and technical cooperation. As one of the world's top countries for ease of doing business, New Zealand's strength in innovation, governance and sustainability present valuable opportunities for Sri Lanka. Joining us on Kaleidoscope is New Zealand's High Commissioner David Pine to explore this evolving partnership. David, New Zealand has had diplomatic relations with Sri Lanka for some time now, but just opened a High Commission not too long ago. What prompted this decision and what does this augur for New Zealand's long-term vision and engagement with Sri Lanka?
Two things really changed. I think the first, really both driven by regional changes as much as changes in our bilateral relationship. The first is migration. So we went from having maybe 1.5% of our population being from South Asia 2 decades ago. Nowadays it's somewhere between 7 and 8% of our population. That's a hugely significant change, and of course it means a lot more people travelling to and fro. It thickens relationships and it has very positive benefits in the relationship. So that's the first thing. And the second is geopolitics. We used to talk a lot about the Asia-Pacific. These days we talk more about the Indo-Pacific, reflecting, I think, geopolitical changes that everyone knows a lot about. We see our part of the world as being the Pacific end of the Indo-Pacific, but we recognise its location in a wider strategic region.
So looking at trade between Sri Lanka and New Zealand, traditionally dominated by dairy products from New Zealand, but what opportunities do you see for diversifying trade and investment between our two countries?
We'd like to see more in services, so more in education. We'll talk about that a bit later, and more in tourism. The other opportunity we're seeing is for our corporates to get to know Sri Lankan corporates better. You have very strong, resilient, capable companies in this country that have been through a lot of challenges. Some of them are showing a bit of interest in our part of the world, and our feeling in the High Commission is that some New Zealand companies could have a lot to offer in partnership with them in our part of the world, and vice versa, that your corporates could help us explore India and other parts of the region better. So we'd like to see those relationships to develop, but for that to happen we have to get to know each other better, and that means we need to have more travel between the two countries.
So taking off from that, New Zealand is known for its sustainable agriculture, dairy farming, renewable energy. Are there any knowledge or technical exchange programs planned to help Sri Lanka strengthen those industries?
We're going to focus very strongly in the area of tourism. And the reason we picked that is because it's important to Sri Lanka's economy, and the government here has decided it's an important priority. So we want to be working with you on things that are important to you. The government has been very clear. It's not just about getting bigger numbers. It's about developing an industry that's more sustainable, more inclusive. So the benefits aren't just being felt in the 5-star hotels, but right round the country. At all levels, and we want to be part of that, but we also do at the same time want to see more New Zealanders come here. So when we started our work it was 8,000 a year coming here. Last year it was 12. We want to get to 25 and 25, and our target is to get to 50,000 visitors per year.
Would our two countries be working in areas like sustainable agriculture, climate resilience, marine conservation maybe?
So we're doing quite a lot of work on capacity building to allow Sri Lanka to participate in international carbon markets. That's very important work. And we are working with NGOs here on climate resilience.
Education and skills training, key areas of interest for both of us really. Can Sri Lankan students and professionals expect more scholarship opportunities maybe? in those areas?
The first thing I'd say is the scholarships really mostly come from the universities themselves, so I can't make any offers on their behalf. What I can say is we're seeing much more interest from our institutions in Sri Lanka. You know, we're seeing them in our office almost daily. We have 8 universities. We have a major restructuring of our polytech sector going on at the moment, but there's a lot of interest here. Sri Lanka's already in our top 10 source countries, and it's rising. You can expect to see that reflected in a lot of areas, including scholarships.
So Sri Lanka is on its continued path of economic recovery, hopefully. Now, what role do you see New Zealand playing in supporting trade and investment opportunities?
Well, it's no secret that we'd love to see you join the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership that we're in with 14 of your neighbours as well as us. That we think that has a lot to offer, and we want to have a good conversation with you about trade policy. I think the nature of trade agreements is changing, and we're open to a discussion with Sri Lanka about something that's more creative, maybe a bit more investment focused, and a bit more focused on what it can do for the receiving country of investment. So I think there are some exciting conversations to come in that area. And again, I just keep coming back to tourism. I think we will be really looking to strengthen capacity building. We do want to be helping your capacity to meet regulations, international regulations for your produce exports. That's something we've had a lot of experience in. You've got exciting industries developing, your mango industry's charging ahead. We think we can help that industry. We've had a lot of experience in getting our produce to very distant markets and meeting the regulatory standards in places like Europe where they're pretty demanding. And we feel we've got something to offer and share, and talking to your industry, they seem to think we have something of value to offer.
So here's to renewed engagement and renewed friendship.
Thank you.
Kaleidoscope is on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. Subscribe, follow and like us if you want more of us.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. SriLanka Life.